I'd like to ask a few questions of you, Blue, to get the Mars perspective on some sexual health and wellness issues.
Okay.
As far as performance anxiety goes, when you are engaging sexually with your partner, is that a real issue that men deal with as far as health and wellness is concerned? Is the anxiety that a man feels when his performance is questioned, or maybe he's just having a moment and not functioning the way he would like or feels his partner would like. Is that a real issue, or is performance anxiety just, something people say?
Oh, it's very real. Uh, like in the that wood clip, we were talking about a few things. The issues are twofold. One is the social engineering of this society we live in, male dominated. As men, there's a certain amount of pressure to perform in all areas of life, and your sexual prowess is one that you, amongst other men, amongst your wife, spouse, girlfriend, partner, you, especially if they've had a range of lovers, you're going to be critiqued and criticized and sometimes let go of if you're not up to par. I got 10 words for you on how the other side goes in that whole art imitates life. My 10 words are: I love it when you call me Big Papa. Okay, the songs we make. I'm your love man.
Right.
What's some other ones? Uh, Plenty. Just listen to the songs. Listen to the lyrics. Listen to the way, the expressions. Look at the fanaticism surrounding sports. Look at all of these things from this Mars dominated construct, and then understand that the people, the oppressive group that's in charge, don't look like the people we're normally talking about. So therefore, you got a whole other string, a rung of ladder to perform, and people looking at pornography, people looking at different films from Hollywood and such, get the idea that you are this wonderful big black stud, that a carryover from the slavery period of just making you into a stud for what they call a breeder.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people who don't know, that's a man that impregnates the slave women who were known to be able to birth and give birth and survive it and go back to their original form or shape and be able to have more babies. Okay? And there's different connotations about that given out. But there's a lot of anxiety that comes in there from men. The sexual health and wellness helps take away a good portion of that anxiety when you get into the right practices. Particularly for men, the angst is a big issue. Men have a natural drive and desire, where a majority of men, no matter which way they're going in their sexuality, they have this drive and desire. is usually, depending on the degree and frequency, unmet.
Mhm.
So, or not met to the intensity level or the connected level that he in himself is seeking. So, understanding how to do things to increase your sexual health and wellness helps take away that angst, helps you as a man get over having doubts about yourself, lack of confidence in your skills,
Mhm.
in your capabilities. There is a program we do called the Illumined Male,
Mhm.
the Illuminated Male,
Right.
not to be confused with the Illuminati or anything like that. For all of you that's listening, I don't want to get no emails about that.
Hmm.
Uh, the thing about that for the men is there are a bunch of myths. The one thing is that men have more sex than women. And the reasoning behind that is because men don't place the emotional weight women put on the engagement. And that's really a different kind of myth. It's an altruism, it's an all encompassing belief surrounding male activity when it comes to the sexual arena that is not true. There are other things at play that that make those not true as far as men not putting the emotional weight on there.
Mhm.
If my emotional viewpoint is different than yours, then how can you compare the weight? You can't.
Right.
We can't keep trying to compare the apples to oranges in those equations. Men have those issues because they are caught up. And I give you a personal example here, and I've said it before. I did grow up sneaking under the bed, finding the Playboys, and I actually did read the articles.
Right.
But my favorite, of course, was Players, because the sisters was in there,
Right.
and you know, seeing different scenes sometimes they would do, and you see the men and the size of the men. And it usually wasn't as grotesque and over the top as you may see some things now, if you happen to look at that material. And if you're a younger male and you see that on a regular basis, it's going to affect your perception of how you're supposed to be or quote unquote measure up.
Right.
And then when you hear about all this great lovemaking skill, what's the movie? Sweetback. Okay, Sweetback. Okay, and that's a part of what we've been exposed to.
Right.
Now, again, we dating ourselves, but there's quite way worse films since then that's been out about black males and their sexuality. But
of course.
that one just came to mind thinking about that. Okay, this prowess that you're supposed to have, and in general in the society, it's put on the males, the black males especially, and not all black males are gangster rap stars. Not all black males are into sports or capable of even playing a sport.
Mhm.
Meaning I'm 6'7", I'm 6'5", I'm 6'9", okay, or I'm 5'11" and two 45 solid muscle linebacker. Everybody's been built those ways.
Mhm.
And so we get this image placed upon us. Uh, there is an alpha male component to that, just like there's an alpha and a beta in it.
Right.
And women are expecting. And most men, when they're going through their changes, when they're young and they're feeling it out, no pun intended, and then when they get to the adult stage and their young young adult stages, and they're really starting to get into these relationship games and check things out and manipulate people and be manipulated, then they come to find out certain things, but not only about themselves, but about the female partners. And for a lot of men, it's just like, hey, they cannot not perform.
Right.
I don't know what they're doing today. They're probably posting stuff on Facebook and doing it because they're doing it just all kinds of madness with the social media. But there used to be a joke that went around in our communities that if you were a brother and you didn't perform, the sisters was gonna rat you out. They was gonna tell their girlfriends, you ain't, no skills, or you ain't up to par. And
There's websites for that. Actual full websites
all right,
where you can post the information if you went on a date with this particular man and how the date went, whether the sex was good or bad.
okay. So you want to ask me about a man feeling performance anxiety, and the sisterhood got whole web pages completely paid for. I'm quite sure, well supported and funded to put you on blast if you did not, wow. Okay. So your
Well,
sexual health and wellness helps prevent that. And a lot of times for the men, when they suffer through the anxiety, it's because of the angst. The angst can come from being overstressed at work, being overstressed at home, being overstressed with their partner, just there. And that anxiety also leads into impotency or ED. Uh, it can become a major issue, not only for the male but for his relationship. So there is a lot of anxiety associated with that. When you do things as far as sexual health and wellness practices as a man that helps you relieve that angst with the woman, again, as you put before, people having a random hookup, you can do this with somebody you just met. Doesn't matter. It matters for you going into it.
so
And it doesn't mean, oh, you can just go have sex with anybody and not suffer any consequences. No, what it does mean is that as a man, if you're having that and you've been giving the interactive practice and instruction, well, if you want to use that term, about what you can do to alleviate that and to create more, increase sexual health and wellness for yourself, you won't have to suffer under those types of conditions. And some of the techniques are very non-invasive. So again, it doesn't matter if you're with someone that you've known 6 years, 60 years, 6 months, or 6 weeks. Okay, you can be in a comfortable space with them and do these things that will allow you to alleviate your anxiety and better perform, better connect, which is most important, connect with that partner and really enjoy a wonderful experience.
well, as we wrap this up, can you give our dear brothers out in the listening audience 2 things that they can do to help with that anxiety?
Okay, so we talked about the masturbation and self-rape.
Mm-hmm.
So, brothers, practice this. First thing is, stop. If you are just going to masturbate, I'm going to masturbate. I don't care what you say. Okay, fine. Get a masturbator. Stop using your hand. You say, well, if I do that, how am I going to enjoy the woman? Because that's going to desensitize me. Not necessarily. Now, yeah, if you are enjoying using your masturbator for lengths at a time every day, yeah, that's going to be an issue. But having that will help you get into the self pleasure because there's only so much pressure you're going to be able to apply. It's a different feel. And if you lay back on your bed and don't use petroleum based oils on your skin, use a water based lubricant, or if you got to, use some coconut oil, something of that nature, and use your masturbator or give yourself your own genital massage and just relax. Take some deep breaths and do that. Uh, Maybe your partner isn't around and does it, or maybe your partner is not capable of having sex at the time, or maybe they just not in the particular mood. Whichever the case, those kind of things will help you relieve some anxiety and stresses, so you can be in a better space when you do get your opportunity. Also, as well, when you're engaging with you, you're about to engage with your partner, and if it even comes close to feeling a little jitter of lack of self confidence or performance anxiety, etc., just if you and I know how men go because the ego will really mess us up. So if your ego gonna get in your way, make it into a game. Have her lay next to you. Say, "Oh baby, I just want to spoon with you. I've been missing you, and I just want to do this. I want us to enjoy some time." And she's enjoying some romantic moment,
Right.
and you're taking some deep breaths and getting that stress out your behind. Just do it. Put your hand on her belly or you're spooning next to her and just take some deep breaths. Try to do it at least 10 times. Ain't gonna go through any special changes and do all that. Just do that. That'll help put you in a different space than that performance anxiety. Uh, People get in trouble trying to jump in with the whole quickie thing. Oh, I got another hour. I got to be back to my second job and doing a whole lot of stuff. Our lives help create these stresses. So if you're a man that's suffering under these issues, it'd probably be a good time for you to take a step back and do a self-assessment about what you're involved in. It's a good body's way to remind your mind, because your brain doesn't know the difference, that you need to start saying no in some areas of your life. No, I need to go to bed. I can't give you no wood today. I'm sorry.
Right.
What? I mean, that's this, and people believe that's not possible. That's not what we do. Well, change what we do and go to sleep,
Right.
because or change what you do. No, I can't go out drinking with y'all. I can't go to the card game. I can't go to the track. I'm not going to the gym. You say yes to something, you say no to something else. And usually when we get too busy by saying yes to stuff, we're saying no to our health. That's the actual reality in our community. We need to own up to it. So for men with the performance anxiety, those two things, either give yourself a nice massage, or use a masturbator, and then, some deep breaths, whether you lay next to your woman and do it, or you have to fake the funk because you don't want to get into an ego battle. Put your hand on her belly and lay next to her and just say, "Oh, we're gonna spoon," and take some deep breaths that way.
Right.
To help. And it will, if you do it, it's not a cure-all, but it will help move you into a different space.
Thank you for that candid response.